Test. Yep.
Testing, testing, testing. You hear me?
I call this meeting to order at 7:10 p.m. I'm sorry we're running a little bit late. There is a quorum of commissioners present and no one absent. All the due notices have been posted, and I'll call this meeting to order. At this time, I'll ask Commissioner Biggers to lead us in prayer and a pledge of allegiance.
Dear Father, we come with humble hearts, just thanking you for all of your grace, your mercy, and just watching over us day by day. Father, we pray that you would continue to be with the first responders in our city, local, county, and state, national government. Father, give the leadership of this country the ability to have discernment in what's right and what would be pleasing to you. Father, we ask you to watch over us during this meeting, that we might do things that benefits our community. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right. I don't guess we have any special guests tonight that I know of. Tony's here from ETMC, and I think that's about all I see. Anybody else? Oh, Jim Spire's back there from Christus. Glad you guys are here. So, anybody else I missed that I can't see? Okay. All right. Item number 4 is public comment. Any individual may sign and provide a form to request permission to make comments to the board concerning matters that are relevant to the business of the district. Time limit for each person's comments shall be 3 minutes. Maximum time allowed to public comments section of the agenda will be 30 minutes, and the board may not deliberate on items or matters not listed on the agenda. Do we have any public comment forms?
I have none.
You have none? Okay. Having no public comment forms, we'll move on to number 5, consent agenda. Receive, discuss, and take any necessary action relating to the following reports. Approval of the minutes of the Board of Commissioners on March the 2nd, 2021.
I've reviewed those and would make the motion that we approve them.
I'll second.
Okay. Have a motion by Brent and a second by, who seconded it? You? By Matt. All those in favor of approving the Board of Commissioner minutes for March the 2nd, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action related to the payment of accounts, bills, invoices, payroll requests for reimbursement, requests for other payments, transfer of funds, and amendments. 6.1 is current bills and quotes and checks over $2,000. And then 6.2 is contract payments made. Financial reports. And 5.2. Oh, financial reports. I'm sorry, I skipped that one. Let's go back. Okay. We have a financial report that was amended January of 2021 and a financial report for February of 2021. You have any comments on those?
So again, I've reviewed both, and the financial report that is amended, Terry did some research for me today and has identified that the accounting firm had in general ledgers a loan that we had in the wrong place, had been debiting it in our books in the wrong place. They've actually gone back in and made the corrections and reassigned those to correct general ledger codes, and he will get a written statement so we can put it on file with the amended report. As such, I'll make the motion that we approve the amended report as submitted.
Okay, so you make a motion that we approve the financial report that's amended on January 2021?
Yes.
Okay, and what about the financial report for February?
Yeah. I was gonna do it as
Oh,
we got
okay.
that one. I'll do
All
it
right.
second.
Well, all right. I have a motion to approve the financial amended report for January 2021. I have a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Wilson. Oh,
They get us-
Leroy?
they get
Okay.
us mixed
I
up
thought
all the time.
I'm sorry. Anyway. All right. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, financial report for February, Mr. Treasurer.
For February, there was no outstanding issues that I was able to recognize, and again, upon review, I'll make the motion that we approve the financial report for February 28, 2021.
Okay, have a motion to approve the financial report February 2021 by Commissioner Domney.
I'll
Have a
second. I'll second it.
A second by Commissioner Wilson. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, now on to the consent agenda number 6. I'm sorry, I missed that a while ago. So current bills and quotes and checks over $2,000 in 6.1, and 6.2 is contract payments made. Anybody see anything that's out of the ordinary or anything they'd like to discuss on that? Nope. Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So made.
I'll make the motion.
Either one.
Charles makes a motion. Who's Leroy seconds it? Okay, any other discussion? Okay. All those in favor of approving consent agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 7, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on a resolution for Michael Crowley being named EVT of the Year for the state of Texas. Congratulations, Mike. So, have we got that resolution?
Yeah, we've gotten it. Let me switch over and pull it up.
Where is it? Is it on here or where is it at?
It is on there.
I got it right here. Here we go. All right. Smith County Emergency Services District 2, Resolution Number 2021-001. Michael Crowley devoted his career to providing fleet services for emergency vehicles, and he served previously with the City of Longview as an emergency vehicle technician, and that he began working for Smith County Emergency Services District 2 in 2017, and that his dedication and willingness to put in extra time and effort serving Smith County and the district has been noted throughout the state of Texas, and Michael Crowley has been named the Emergency Vehicle Technician of the Year by the Texas Association of Emergency Vehicle Technicians. Therefore, be it resolved that the members of the Smith County Emergency Services District 2 Board of Commissioners publicly presents this expression of appreciation for Michael's service and dedication to Smith County Emergency Services District 2, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution is to be presented to Michael Crawley on behalf of the Smith County Emergency Services District Number 2 Board of Commissioners. Congratulations. Have anything to say, Mike?
Not really, but thank you all for all your kind words and for allowing me for this opportunity to serve this county and do what we do best.
Okay. Well, we appreciate all your dedication and hard work, and certainly it shows that it paid off. It's quite an honor to be named the top man in the whole state of Texas, so congratulations. All right. Discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on the reestablishment of committees. We talked about reestablishing committees. Matt, I'll let you kind of take the lead on that if you want to, what we discussed.
All right, so we talked about just briefly when we were setting the agenda that reestablishing the committees would be a good idea, as we found me and Mike and David Gerald and a few others served on the committee for the traffic attenuators, and it to me felt like it streamlined the process of what we have to do. The Board of Commissioners can't be present for every single thing that goes on, and Terry's already pulled thin as it is, and so we wanted to reestablish the committees that can help us do that research. 3 of the committees that we wanted to reestablish was long range training and the apparatus committee. We're reestablishing or hoping to reestablish them today, but we're not forming them necessarily today. We want people to reach out that are interested in being on that committee to send us an email, give us a call. We want to kind of go through and get these formed up with a good group of people. We're limiting them to 5 each, so that well, a bunch of firemen in a room, we can actually make a decision when there's only 5 of us. But if you're interested in serving on those committees, let us know, please. We need the help, and we want people that are out in the field knowing what's going on to help us with that. So that's about all I have to say on that. Johnny?
Okay. So if you're interested in serving on the committees, and what we'd like to see is not just volunteers, but we'd like to see a mix of volunteer and paid staff with 1 board member serving on those committees also. Seems like the 2 things that we've worked on that way have seemed to work out very, very well. So if you're interested, you can let any of the board members know, and we'll see about getting those committees reformed. So that's all I got to say on that. Okay. So
We don't need to take action on
we
that.
don't need to take any action on it. I think if we get to, I guess we can, if we wanted to vote, we could say we want to vote to reestablish those committees, but they're actually there. They just never have been disbanded, but we could do that if you want to. If you want to make it a formal motion, we can.
Mike, do we need to do that? All right.
Okay. I didn't. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. All right. Item number 9, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on the purchase of Class A foam. So I think we have some quotes on that. So I I can't see them on here, but
Terry's one better than the other? I mean, what are the differences? Are they apples to apples? That's what I'm trying to ask. I'm sorry. Let's check.
They're all frost check foam, and the low bid was Rowe LLC. We had 3 bids. Low bid was $12,935. That did include the shipping, and that was the lowest bid. And that'll be 12 55-gallon drums.
okay.
I make the motion that we accept the bid from Rowe for $12,935.
Okay, have a motion by Commissioner McKeithen to accept the 12,000, what was it,
$935.
bid.
Yeah, I'll second.
I have a second by Commissioner Domney. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 10, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on purchase of a Bullock smoke machine for training. And Chief Clanton, I'll let you speak on that since that's in your area.
Okay, we sought quotes for a Bullex smoke machine to assist with different types of training. This is one of the better machines on the market, specifically designed for firefighter training. And within that quote is also, I believe, about 20 liters of the smoke fluid. So that would be a consumable that we would be getting later on once we use this first batch. But these things are pretty hardy. They hold up well, and we've had several of them that just did not last very long. But this would be controlled by the training division, well kept, and we would ensure it had the proper products in it, that kind of thing. But it's something we definitely need, and this is designed to do what we're trying to do.
Yeah. I understand that the ones that we had on the old fire safety house and everything like that, they were more or less didn't work anymore, or it cost too much to repair.
Yeah, my understanding is one of those was having some type of problem that was going to cost quite a bit to repair. The other aspect of that is some of those are actually like Halloween smoke machines and things like that. They're not the most expensive or most dependable.
They didn't work 5 years ago very well. It's time. I make a motion that we purchase the first option, which is the $3,461.50, if you agree. All right, that's my motion.
Okay, have a motion by Commissioner McKeithen to buy the smoke machine for $3,461.50. Second by Commissioner Biggers. Any other discussion?
Chief Clanton, did you also want to include the smoke liquid, the 20 liters of it, for $1,794.76?
I'm sorry, I thought that $3,000 quote included 20 liters with it.
I think that's additional.
It is. I believe, I've got it right here. Get it where you can see.
So it does say there's 20 liters in it.
It does say 20 liters
Right,
on it.
there is 20 liters with that one, so I didn't know if we had another quote just for the smoke liquid, if you wanted to include that or not.
Yeah, I think that was included as an additional, and we won't need that. We just need that first quote.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other discussion on this item? All right, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. All right. Number 11, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on purchase of firefighting hose. I guess Terry or you or JD, one can speak on that.
Yeah, it's just some replacement hose. We're running short. We've kind of wore down our inventory, and this is just to bring our inventory back up so that we'll have hose to load up once we make a call. Low bid on that is Metro Fire.
Okay. What's the low bid on it, Matthew?
It's $12,250, and I will make the motion as well that we accept the Metro Fire quote of $12,250 for the purchase of fire hose.
Well, that one is exclusive of freight, and we have another one at $12,699 included of freight. So which one's going to be the better option for us?
Okay, the freight is paid on Metro, and we checked on it. And so that is, anything over a certain amount is free freight, so that is clear. We checked on that.
Good enough.
Okay, I have a motion by Commissioner McKeithen to accept the Metro Fire quote for $12,250 for the fire hose. I have a second.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a second by Commissioner Wilson. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 12, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on the emergency purchase of the UPS for the server room 2. All right, Larry, I'll let you explain this.
Yeah, the server, the UPS that runs server room 2 failed after the last generator run. Not quite sure what the failure reason is yet. We tested it. It's in bypass mode right now, so we need to get this UPS approved. I have the order in already as an emergency purchase because it takes a while to get that type of UPS ordered up. Unfortunately, this UPS was out of warranty by 2 months, so just barely missed warranty.
Is any particular reason it failed, or just old age, or what?
No, it's not old. They normally don't fail, but these items are meant to be the kind of the sacrificial lamb. It's supposed to clean the power.
Okay.
I'm not quite sure what the issue is with it. We can send it off for diagnostics, and they'll tell us.
Okay. All right.
And there's a possibility we could have it repaired and keep it as a spare if we need to, or it has some residual value potentially.
That's my goal.
Okay.
What was this brand versus another? I mean, what's the warranty life on them?
They're all about the same. You can purchase them. Normally, they come with 3 years warranty. Then you can purchase up to 5 years on them. The additional cost is normally about 30% to increase that warranty. And all the brands are pretty much the same as far as warranty goes.
Seeing that this one failed prior to its, did we have the extended warranty? Let me ask that first.
No, we did not have the extended warranty.
Do you see a need? You said normally they don't go out. Do you see a need for purchasing it now?
The extended warranty?
Yeah.
No, I don't believe so. Even then, it's really not that cost effective because these are normally 5-year items anyways.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'll entertain a motion on the emergency purchase for the UPS.
All right. Make the motion that we approve the emergency purchase of the UPS for $7,181.78 from CDWG.
Okay.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Dominy and a second by Commissioner Biggers that we do the emergency purchase for $7,181.71. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. 13, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on replacement of air conditioner for server room 1. Larry?
Yeah, so this AC has been in use for about 4 or 5 years. This is a constant run AC. It also has to control the humidity and be remotely monitorable. This unit has outlived its lifespan at about 5 years, and it's got a leak in it, and they can't find it. We've had 2 AC contractors look at it. They've recharged it. We're running on the backup AC at this time, and it's starting to get to that hot time of the year, so I'd like to go ahead and get this replaced.
Okay. All right. And so they've looked at it and done everything they could, and nobody could find the leak, or don't know if it's the coils leaking in it, or
That's
or
just
what.
it. This unit is very condensed, and the coils are set up in kind of a odd configuration, and so the contractors are having a hard time with it.
Okay.
Remind us what the lifespan is expected on these.
5 years, so we're right there at it.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Was it budgeted?
No, it was not budgeted.
So it had a lifespan of 5 years,
And
we didn't budget for it?
We're 4.5 years in, so my goal was to try to get it replaced next budget year.
Okay, so let's look at our other equipment and let's at least acknowledge where we have these type of expenses that are, potentially coming up for us.
Yes, sir.
That'd be helpful for us.
All right. I'll entertain a motion for the replacement of the air conditioning unit for the server room.
All right, I'll make the motion that we go ahead and purchase the air conditioning for server room 1 from CDWG in the amount of $6,677.60.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, have a motion by Commissioner Dominy and a second by Commissioner Wilson to purchase the air conditioner for the server room 1. Any other discussion? I'm like Brent. Let's make sure we got any of our equipment that's getting close to the end of their service life. Let's try to get it budgeted, or so we'll know about it.
Yes, sir. I do have that in a plan that I hope to lay out to the board coming up when we start budget workshops.
Okay, sounds good. Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 14, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on repair of bay doors for Troop Concord Station. JD, I think you did some of the leg work on that.
Yes, I did. Okay, so they had the technicians out to look at, I believe, 2 of the doors down there at the Concord station. And when he got finished looking at them, he realized that the motherboards were out, there was a capacitor out, and the doors had been put up in 1999. And going forward, there could be an issue with parts or more issues, so the recommended action was to replace them. I have 2 quotes here. One is from Tyler Overhead Door Company, Inc., and that's for 12-foot ATS openers, 2 of them for $1,900. Talking to the guy, it sounds like those are they're more along the lines of a residential. And then the other quote is from Overhead Door Systems. That's 2 12-foot, half horsepower. They're medium duty, and the quote for those was $2,358. I'm not exactly sure, depending on how much those get used, what we really want to do with them. So I might kick it over to Chief.
I know it's good to save money, but the second one, the higher bid, that's a way better door opener. It's a commercial grade, medium duty commercial grade. And if this other is a residential grade, there's a total 2 different things there. So I'm leaning towards the more expensive quote.
JD, the only thing I'd like is for next time when we recognize that there's because we're not comparing apples to apples here, next time we need to call back the previous company and try to get them to quote us the identical machine.
I can do that.
I was going to recommend that we table it until we do have comparative quotes.
Go ahead, Chief Mauger.
Are all 3 broken?
Are you going to be okay if I go get some quotes for all 3? Is that going to put you guys in a bind? Okay.
I agree. I motion to table.
I have a motion to table item 14 and bring back at another, at next month's meeting. Does that give you time, JD, to get the bids you need?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. I can take care of that.
Okay. Well, I'll second that motion. So, any other discussion on it? Okay. All in favor of tabling this till the next meeting?
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries. Item 15, discuss, consider, and take any next action on fire chiefs presenting and discussing issues with the board for future actions. All right, let's start out with Art. Chief Arnold? Come up to the mic. Come up to the mic.
We want it recorded,
Yeah, we want it recorded.
please.
It's good. It's good? Okay, all right.
So, hey, hold on,
How's
hold on a
things
minute.
going on the building, Mac, about the sale of the building or whatever?
Just waiting on the city and the paperwork from the attorneys, and then we're gonna be ready to go. We
Okay.
got most of our stuff out of there. They found a few more things over there I need to get picked up.
Okay.
City's already starting to use it, so
Okay.
no big deal.
Chief, I'd like for y'all to start actually coming up and telling us what's going on in your area. Rather than just coming up and saying everything's good, I'd like to know what's going on in your area, what type of issues you've had, what types of successes you have. And we'll actually, if we need to, start laying out a report form for you to come in and give us that information, rather than just having each one of you stand up and say we're good.
We want the good and the bad.
I want all of it.
Yeah, we want good and bad.
Meat and potatoes, there's not been a lot, well, there's been a lot of accidents going on. We had 2 fatality wrecks in 2 weeks. I mean, other than that, and dealing with stuff like that, just day-to-day activities.
How are you guys doing after the wrecks? Have they
They're
needed?
doing okay. I didn't have a whole lot of rookies out there, so everything was good. And the day crew handled most of one of them. They were on the scene, and we just handled traffic for them and then ran a couple calls in between while they were tied up. So
Okay.
everything worked good.
So throughout the snow event,
Snow event is very interesting. I've got a good young man down there named Brandon Massey. He took care of my position while I was at Brewster's because I couldn't get off. I'd come down there in the afternoons when I got off and stay with them. And he slept there 24/7 through the whole event. So he's ex-military and he knows how to handle the radio situation, so I let him do his job.
Good.
Everything went real good. I mean, no complaints.
thank you.
Can I leave now?
All right. All right. Bullard, anybody from Bullard here? There he goes.
Compared to Art, Bullard's been relatively calm. We're doing good. We're waiting on the second engine, and I believe our brush truck is supposed to be done this week. So, other than those two, we've been doing very well. So, we appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Chief Peterson, Chapel Hill.
Pretty much a lot of stuff you already done already that I was looking at was fire hose and foam. We've been needing some pretty bad out there, and I see you're finally passing, which is going to help us out. I want to say thank you for JD for helping out now on our applications and getting some of them done a little bit quicker for us. I appreciate that. Other than that, everything else we're doing pretty good at so far.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to make sure if we get applications in, we get them processed as fast as we can. So.
Yeah, I know he's got a lot on his hands, so but he did
Right.
good. I appreciate that.
That wasn't his fault. I'll take up for JD on that.
It
Blame it on
It wasn't
us.
his fault at all. Yeah.
There are some other small items, tools I need, but as well, I have sent some emails, so I'll just wait and see how that comes out as well.
Okay. Thank you, Chief.
So throughout the snowstorm, you guys do okay up there as well?
Yeah, we did real well. In fact, I had a lot of turnout. I had anywhere from 10 to 15 guys spend every night there during that storm out, so we covered our area pretty well, real good.
Good.
So we're safe.
Thank you.
Dixie. Oh, Chief York, how are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
All right.
What you want to know?
Well, how'd everything go during the snowstorm? Was there anything?
It went good.
Yeah.
Everything, we survived it.
Yeah.
We took our diesel tank out and we did a special project throughout the county with that. It's still out of service right now. I talked to Chief Roselle earlier about getting it back in service. Everything else is going pretty smooth. I'd like to know about the remodel coming at Station 1.
We would too. We're working on it.
Yeah, we're working on that.
Yeah, come on, y'all do better than that.
Chief Roselle can give you all the ins and outs about it.
You got any idea at all?
Not at this time.
Okay.
Not at this time.
All righty.
All right.
Thank you.
Flint Gresham.
We're good.
No,
I'm reading my notes here. Y'all forgive me, I kind of got thrown under the bus today. Chief Stone is out of town and could not make the meeting. The first thing I want to mention is on April 24th, the Flint Gresham will host the Northeast Texas District Meeting for State Firemen's Fire Marshal Association here at the station. So we'd like to invite the commissioners to come out and hope y'all can maybe post that as a gathering and some of y'all can be here. I've already talked to Larry a little bit. We're probably going to need some IT support from them on that day as well. The other thing is, would like to ask, and this is just, one of my officers just sent this in, want to know if there was any updates on the Flint engine that we know of. We still kind of in a holding pattern? Okay.
go ahead, Mike.
Also wanted to
Hold on
plant-
just a second, Tate.
Mike, can
Tate,
answer that.
insurance has got back with us. We're waiting now. Tomorrow we should be receiving the loaner engine from Siddons Martin, and then we're gonna make sure we get everything off of that truck, put onto the loaner, and then by Wednesday, hopefully, I'm gonna try to get that engine out to WTR in Dallas so they can start tearing it apart more and figure out what else is going on with it. So it'll be this week.
Okay, thank you. Also wanted to kind of plant the seed about Flint probably is going to need a second engine. Based on our ISO flow calculation, that's something that we're looking at to make sure we are still in compliance with what we have set hold ISO that we have here as far as flow availability within the district. We'd like to see if there's a possibility of the ESD board assisting the volunteer departments with a recruitment retention, either through a committee or some other concerted effort to collectively help us all, because that is one of the things that we over and over and over again say that we have difficulty with is recruiting volunteers and then having various things in place to help retain them and kind of work collectively together, see if we can't work on that.
Tate, I want to interrupt you. On that, is that something that completely different, or is that something that could blend with like Chief Clanton helping us with like a training committee? Is that something, or does that?
I think maybe that could be a committee, but I mean, I think that's going to have to be independent of all the other committees. I mean, maybe if we're going to put back together the HR personnel committee, that could fall underneath them, but really, I mean, recruitment retention is a broad-based thing. The State Firemen's and Fire Marshal Association got $1 million grant through FEMA a couple of years ago to provide a program, and they took it around the state and taught a lot of good stuff. And there were some of us that went to that and others that didn't, but maybe we could put our heads together and kind of come up with, you know, things that we can do collectively. One of the things is, I don't think we reach out to the media at all locally on that kind of activity, you know, just getting some feel-good stories, for lack of a better term, just within various media, and don't necessarily hit all of them at one time. Have one of the media outlets say, hey, you know, your local volunteer fire departments need volunteers, and then 3 months later hit a different media outlet so that you're hitting the entire market, because, you know, we all know that we have our one media channel we watch, and that's what we watch, and if it's not on that channel, we're not going to see it. So maybe we can move it around a little bit and get that kind of stuff done.
I agree. We'll talk about it more later, but
I think we're open to whatever. We just, you know, it's one of the things that all of our, just, you know, just like staff and everybody else, our plates are pretty full, and so it would be nice if we could kind of share that burden just a little bit with a committee or group to come up with various things that we could do to help with that.
sure.
Is there, I know there's blocker vehicles coming, and we've been told one of them is probably coming to Flint. Is there an update on the SOP for that?
Wasn't the committee working on that, or how?
There's no progress. We will get back with you on that.
I'll work with you. We'll.
Thank you, JD. You throw me under the bus like that.
Right. And the last thing that we had was with the governor rescinding the order on COVID. Has the district considered what our policy moving forward is going to be? Are we going to continue the way we are? Or there's been both changes at the governor and from the CDC in the last 5 days.
Okay, so since the CDC update, I haven't gotten another update, but from Dr. Desai, after the governor opened everything up, his encouragement was for us to continue operating the way we're operating so that we don't take COVID to patients, or we don't contract COVID from patients. So his recommendation was for the fire department to stay the same.
Understood. Okay. You want me to add something else?
Thank you, Flint Gresham.
All right, thank you.
All right. Jackson Heights, Chief Dylan Atkins. He's the newest chief we got in the county. Congratulations, or salutations, one or the other.
It's been a lot. It's a lot to sit back and take in. And I've got as you all know, it ain't all peaches and cream in the Jackson area, and just some things that have been going on lately. And we are in a rebuild process. I had an issue the other day with a particular meeting about some stuff that was discussed. I was led to believe it was going to be a discussion of the taking of new Jackson chief and being as a new chief in general, and it proceeded to be more of how my department wasn't upholding a contract that I did not have or was unaware of what exactly it entails that I actually received an hour ago before this meeting. So my issue with that was I've got a lot of expectation on me, but I'm not exactly sure. So I've reached out, and to ensure what some of the things that were talked about was coverage in my district. And we do have a skeleton crew, and my department has a lot of people that are certain work hours, and there's certain skeleton hours of the night that we lose a lot of our guys due to a strict work schedule. And to ensure, not to say that we're not capable at this time, because like I said, I am in a rebuilding process. If Dell and Will would come up here. To ensure for my community and my just district overall, because in the end it's about my citizens in my district and my coverage for my citizens, I've been getting with these guys and talking about a mutual agreement for, you know, we've talked about the time frames that we may be lacking of strong enough force depending on the nature of a call, and to help prevent from getting in a predicament that we don't want to get in and not being able to serve and fulfill what we need to do for our citizens. I've got an agreement with them to help cover certain areas that they've understood that, hey, if Jackson's in a certain area, or depending on the call, that they've opened up their doors, that, hey, feel free to go ahead and request that, hey, can y'all go ahead and start sending some guys that way? You know, it's always better to cancel these guys not knowing what I have available at the time, and send them home instead of get into a situation where we're stuck and now we're requesting and we waste 5-10 minutes now recalling somebody that we could have had en route as well already. As I said, I am a new chief, and I'm trying to learn my boundaries on where everything stands. So any advice with that has been grateful through plenty of the chiefs in all districts. And so like I said, it's been trying to be a sponge on ideas and everything for Jackson. Like I said, we are in a rebuilding process, so I just ask that you bear with me. I ain't even been in the seat 3 weeks, and I'm still trying to repair stuff that has fallen apart previously.
You've inherited quite a task, and I feel bad for you. I really do.
I don't need you to feel bad, just
No. With that, I want to offer our help, and I think what Chief Tate brought to light as far as recruitment and retention, us being better helping y'all in that, I understand your district's I'm familiar with Flint and Bullard. It's a little different than Flint and Bullard, but you've got two good guys that are going to help you pick up the slack for now, and I appreciate that very much. My question will go over to JD or Terry. Logistically, how do we help them in the meantime so that Winona and Chapel Hill know when calls come out? I mean, do we do automatic mutual aid with, how do we set that? I don't want...
I actually may skip this step. They were going to say a little piece about that.
I'm sorry, yeah.
What we plan on doing is that my page is picking up their calls anyway with my phone, so I'm going to be monitoring that. I have guys that actually are going to monitor radios, and we're going to be listening. And the first page, if we don't hear something within the first minute or two, we're going to have guys go and start coming to their calls And then if we hear them going, we're going to communicate to them. And if they still want us, we will go. If we don't want us, then we can be canceled either way.
Sure.
But we're going to monitor our radios pretty much 24/7 as long. And we know his time periods, they're the weakest, so we're going to monitor a lot stronger in that time. And I've also had some of my guys, we're going to do work where we're going to have them go on board with them to be a member of their department as well to try to help them out, cover their area as well.
That's awesome. That's all I had.
He's gonna have the backing of the whole association too.
Sure.
Okay. We're all right there. If he needs anything, all he has to do is call us.
I think we've
We'll
all,
all jump right in the middle of it.
every department in this county.
That's it.
Bullard.
I can pretty much speak for everybody.
Oh, well, I agree, but we all, I know my tenure at Bullard, we saw times of huge involvement. We saw valleys where we didn't hardly have anybody. So y'all just take care of the district and get a good plan of, and maybe you'll be one to help. I'd like to see us do better with recruitment and retention. And so what we need to do, whether that's visit the local schools, banners, media, I don't know what that is, but we need to figure it out, and we'll help you any way we can.
Yeah, we've got a few things in the works. It's been brought up to the attention of the very mass quantity of churches in our areas. Maybe start taking a couple guys in the truck, attending, talking to some of these guys. We're actually looking now with the COVID restrictions being lifted some to maybe start doing some community stuff, because, you know, stuff with the kids, you know, come kids, comes parents, comes interest, you know, maybe you can start putting that bug in the ear, just trying to be more involved with our community now that we have a little bit less restrictions.
The thing that, in my opinion, that what I saw when I was down there was people think that, I mean, we overall, the Smith County ESD2 does a fantastic job. And so people just, if it's not broke, don't fix it. They don't realize that we take volunteers, even though it's obvious for everybody sitting in here. The average Joe out there may not view it that way. So I think it's simply getting the word out, or it was down there, and it really did help. So keep doing a good job.
So both Chief Peterson and Chief Allen, y'all are willing to take this on?
Oh, yes. They're part of our community as well as anything else, so we're out there to help them.
Okay, we appreciate you guys stepping up and doing that. Try to get things back on track. You know. And
Yeah, all I was going to say is that, I know Matt spoke a lot, but I know he's speaking on the behalf of the entire board and entire organization. We do want to make sure that you succeed. So anything that we can do, y'all feel free to come and speak to us openly, tell us what the issues are. And we might not be able to always fix it, but we can't do anything about it unless we know about it. So appreciate you guys standing up and telling us.
yes, sir. And it's actually, we've actually, with the bond that's been started to form, that we've actually had a morale raise. So we're starting to see some more people interested on the whole recruitment, retention. We've actually ran a couple calls where we've actually already started making a bond with some people in our community to help out. So
I don't know how Tate feels about this, but when, like I said, every department goes through hills and valleys of membership, but that is where the dual runner program kind of started. There was a lull for Flint. We started coming from Bullard to help. Flint recovered. We all kind of meshed anyway. I mean, they're so close, but I think that's a very good plan if your neighbors are willing. That's awesome.
appreciate you guys. I do have one question, I guess more for Mike. Do we have an update for my engine one? It's not a big issue, but, or I guess the answer would be for Red Springs, because a lot of my volunteer guys, we do have a good chunk that respond from the other end of the district, and I'm forced to go to the other side to get an engine from over there.
I did hear back from the body shop today. They are waiting on a couple items to ship from or be received from the Florida plant for Spartan. So as soon as that stuff gets in, he said it's going to be a matter of no time to get it back in service. So he's still trying to get that shipping track down, and as soon as it arrives, it should be a matter of a few days before it comes in. So hopefully looking at the end of this week, maybe sometime next week.
Appreciate it. Any other questions from the board?
No, we just want to make sure that you succeed, and I think with the other chiefs backing you up, just, if you got questions, ask them, because some of them have gone through the same thing you've gone through. So don't be afraid to reach out and ask them. And we appreciate you taking the task on, and just like Brent said, we want to see you succeed, and we'll give you all the help we can.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Noonday, Chief Harper.
All right, everything's going good in Noonday. We proud to announce we received a $5,000 grant. It's a wellness grant. We're going to use that for special wipes that we use after structure fires, and also use that for better hoods and basic just cancer initiatives that we're going to use that money for. We also did receive a $22,000 grant, and we're going to purchase a Lucas device, which is basically, for us that have been in the EMS for a while, the old thumper. A lot of our transport times, once we get on scene, normally on a CPR, we will take at least 2 folks will ride in with the medic crew to the hospital. We're looking probably normally 20 to possibly 35 minutes. So it is very exhausting, 2 people back there doing chest compressions. With this device, it's a mechanical device. It'll do the chest compressions for us. So now I can just send 1 person to the hospital to make sure that our machine gets back to us. And the chest compressions are a lot more effective than us doing it bouncing around in the back of the ambulance. Last week we had a former fire chief of Noonday. His son was in a pretty bad motorcycle accident, so we'll ask for thoughts and prayers for him and his family. Finally got the septic system replaced at Noonday. Thank y'all for approving that. As far as the snow week, we had about 10 to 15 volunteers that were there during that time. Some of them put in over 130 hours at the station 24/7. So we were, for the most part, able to staff all of our apparatus out at Noonday. That's all I got.
Thank you, Chief. And appreciate you getting those grants too. That helps out. All right. Red Springs. Anybody from Red Springs? Okay. I think Chief Salmons is probably still in Dallas. I think he was going for another round of surgery, so he's probably still laid up. Troop. Chief Mauger.
Yeah, we're in pretty good shape down there. The hose situation is going to help us some. We've been a little short of hose, but since we've got that approved, that'll help out. Our snow situation, we had about 7 guys that were there just about 24/7 the whole time. And along with the paid staff, we had everything pretty well covered. We didn't have very many calls, which was great, but we did plow on through it.
Anything pressing or that not being taken care of, or that you know of, or?
At this time, I think we're covering most of the bases. We have a chiefs meeting. If one of y'all would like to show up Thursday night at Chapel Hill at 7 o'clock, if anybody's interested. Other than that, I don't know of anything else. If y'all have a question for me, and like I say, we're back in Jackson 100%. Anybody in the county, he can go to any of us, and we'll be more than happy to help out on that situation, because we know how it is.
Okay.
We appreciate it.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief. White House, Chief Champion.
Everything in White House is going good right now. Back there in the snow and the ice, a lot didn't know about, even Terry didn't know about. We had a big issue, let alone with the snow and ice, that city of White House mainly, we did in our community for about 24 hours was without water. But the city of White House, we popped up in the city of White House for 4 to 5 days without any water. Then we had the issue that we had to help with the dialysis center in Tyler, so our tanker went to Tyler for 2 days helping run water into the dialysis center up by Super 1 on 110. With that being said, Madison, the fire chief in the city of White House, and he really appreciated and thanked us for what we did. We had our tanker tied up in Tyler. I got with Van Winkle and some of the guys, and before we know it, we had a tanker with a driver from ARC that came to our station that stayed overnight for 24 hours. Then we got another tanker in, plus was set up for if we had an issue or a problem with structure fire in the city or in our area, that we had a tanker to fight the fire with, on structure fire or anything like that, plus set up, had one of the closest departments that was coming in to go to Lake Tyler to draft water out of Lake Tyler where we could be filling up our trucks for fighting that fire. A lot of people didn't know we had that planned out and was working, and had that worked out. Even Terry, we had a couple, it's been a couple of weeks ago now that we had a meeting that we went over everything, what went good, what went bad, what could we improve on. Terry didn't even know we had this going on down at White House, He didn't need to know. He had other issues going on with it. But it all went over real great and was good. Only issue we got coming up, and coming up real short, it would be kind of nice if the new battalion trucks would hurry up and get up here, or if it's going to be 2022 or 2023 before we get them. We're getting into the season that the lake's cranking up with people coming to the lake. We got one truck to pull our boat to the lake for if we get a call on the lake. We got battalion chief running all over the county in it right now. Otherwise right now, the only thing we got to pull our boat to the lake if we get a call on the lake is a personal vehicle. So it'd be nice if those new battalion trucks would come on in and get in.
This week.
It may be real easy for me to have a brain fart, but we have 2 battalion trucks, right? Where's the...
The main battalion truck is down at Josh Hawkins Automotive getting repaired. It's been throwing an intermittent issue that's even puzzling the technician down there. So he's pulling his hair out trying to figure out what's going on.
It's been living down there more than it's been on the road.
We're buying Fords this time.
Hey, the one down there, I've seen it. It's got 200,000 miles on it. You can't gripe about it. But as much as it's been down there lately, been trying to get fixed and keep running, our command truck's going to have that 200,000 miles on it time we get it back,
The battalion chief truck will be here delivered this week.
That'd be good. That'd be good. So if y'all got any questions, ask me. That's all we got going on.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it.
You bet.
All right. Winona, Chief Allen.
For the most part, everything in Winona's been doing quite well. We've got several new guys ready to go test, with roughly about 4, and then 2 from the previous class that we did. We've got several where we're able to start retaining volunteers. We've got, I think, 3 new applicants this last week. So by all means, we're doing well as far as our membership front. I don't know how we could better streamline the process as far as some of our uniforms. I've sent in some uniforms requests 2 to 3 different times now, and at one point I was told we were unable to order uniforms at this time, but by all means, a professional looking firefighter is definitely more appealing to the eye, to the public. Or as far as some of our training team, our training front, some of the training expectation that, by all means, some of the volunteers had high hopes for our training team. Some of those hopes have been let down a little bit. So by all means, I will partner with Chief Clanton at some point and see if we can come to a good ground there. What else?
I would like for you to specifically list exactly what those issues are while we're in the board meeting so they can be addressed.
We're having a problem with a particular individual not actually teaching the course. They're relying more on, we'll go for the door props for more specifics. The door prop, we were there, and the training captain at the time, I believe was the interim captain, assisted with changing out the wood. There was no teaching of the volunteers, and the first round of groups, we split our groups up into two, sent some into a classroom to watch videos, and some to stay out there and actually do the hands-on practice. It took 2.5 hours for the first group because they didn't have the video training, and the particular individual did not actually assist with teaching them. He just kept changing the wood out.
Okay, so an isolated issue, and we'll get together and we'll fix it.
Yes, sir.
I want to make a comment on that just before you leave, and I'm not directing this at any one person. Something I have noticed in my short time on this side of the table has been, well, let me back up. I don't want to ever discourage this. This is what we're asking for and what we want. I've known Chief Clanton for a while. I've known everybody in here for a pretty good while. I'd like to see these things taken care of or attempted to be taken care of at a local level because, well, that's how it's designed to work. But something that I learned a few years ago the hard way is I like it written. And,
yes,
you know, I want to give these guys an opportunity to fix the issue. And if it's with a captain or an interim, you know, take your next level.
Yes,
And,
sir.
and you can always pick up the phone and call me. We want this, okay?
Yes.
But, or we want to at least know about it. But I'd like to give these guys the opportunity to fix that at the local level. And then if it's not fixed, I want it by the time it reaches here,
yes, sir,
that somebody's getting in trouble. You see what I'm saying?
I spoke with one of the other training captains prior to this last event, and he said he would take it to Mr. Clanton and have that situation resolved.
Sure.
And therefore, when we first started the training team, I was within the first meeting there, and by all means, the view from the expectation was here, which was awesome, especially as far as your volunteer trainings, be able to get this training level, the level of training up to the volunteers, because some of us don't have time from our day jobs
Sure.
to get all of the bullet points covered.
I understand.
And when it was, like Chief Clanton, when he come in, man, it was just amazing, because I've been training coordinator for a few years with Winona as well. It is very hard to put all that together with a family life, a work life. So therefore, it has definitely helped with him coming in. I just like to see more involvement from the training team.
Sure.
As far as being it, because you take several of them guys, they have a lot of experience that textbook doesn't teach you.
Absolutely.
And
Well,
that's one of the things, as a previous training coordinator, I expected to see myself.
so that was discussion we had with the training committee being re-established.
Yes.
Is it's not a committee to tell Chief Clanton how to do his job. It's
Right.
a committee to assist Chief Clanton and the training department or training section of our organization to better serve volunteer and paid alike. And that's why I want some good, neutral-minded people that are in it for the
Correct.
for the good to get in here and not that y'all are doing a bad job, but help direct if there's something that's been overlooked that we need to focus on, some sort of training. It's an assistance thing. It's not somebody
Right.
doing one thing or another. So to follow up on your situation, I'd like for you to talk to Chief Clanton. I'll be happy to be there, and we'll follow up at a later date to make sure that this is resolved.
Well, on a positive note, the objectives that we were covering, like the ventilation, there's a lot of volunteers that have never had that practice other than a live event, and that is not training. You put somebody on a roof while the building's actually on fire, it's not training.
I agree.
So by all means, from the training, from a chief side, being able to send your guys to these things is awesome.
Well, I hope I'm not dreaming too big at the fact that this will go over very well. And I think that this will be something, talking about the committee, that will help us mend this area and move forward. Because I think the training staff and y'all at the local level are both doing a phenomenal job. And if we're all on the same page, we all win. So
Exactly.
we appreciate it. Anything else?
No, sir.
Thank you, Chief. All right. Item number 16, Chief Clayton, Training Division Report.
Yes, sir. I provided to you, I think it's in your books there, basically what has occurred during the month of March, late February, March, within the training division as far as what hours have been provided and what topics were covered. Additionally, we've had the roof vent prop that we built up at Red Springs, and we've offered that every Saturday thus far in March for volunteer fire departments to schedule and attend training with one of our training staff present to assist with that. I think in grand total, out of 3 dates, we've had, what, 20 people? 20? 18 to 20 people. So we are getting some attendance up there. And I realize that it's a little different in that, have to travel to Red Springs rather than the offering being at their stations on the drill nights. But some of those things we're just going to have to do that way. Do you have any questions on any of the things that are on your document there as it relates to hours of live instruction versus internet-based training? No? Okay. That's really all I have. And I would encourage anybody that if you do have some type of a difficulty of any kind involving the training section to please contact me, send me an email, we'll meet, have lunch, whatever. But we are in the game to do what's needed.
I do have one question, Chief. How do y'all, as it relates to topics, how do y'all determine what's needed? And I'm asking this for the committee as people just plant a seed. How do y'all determine what's needed, what y'all are going to train on this month, and so on?
So I had some conversation with Chief Rozelle, and we felt pretty strongly that we needed to start in the basement, if you will, and sort of build back to foundational level on some of the primary topics associated with initial arrival for structure fires and for wildland fires. So we set those as priorities. So we've done things like ladders, roof ventilation, movement of attack hose, loading of hose, different hose loads. So we've been addressing those kinds of topics that we feel like are foundational, basic firefighting 101 type stuff. And that's really how we derived that, was just a choice of topics that fit into what we do in the county and that were at a basic level. We want to move forward with, more advanced things, maybe some additional ladder stuff, and getting into some really advanced search techniques, ultimately into some survival training in May for May Day. That'll be pretty complex. So we felt like it was important to sort of shore up some of those areas before we started moving into things a little bit more technical.
Thank you, Chief.
All right. Larry, Chief Information Officer Report.
Yes, sir. I've also provided to y'all a report, includes our matrix for the month. Just a couple of announcements. I want to remind all the chiefs and departments of our new IT hours. Check your email for those. It's been running. We've had lots of people coming by on Saturdays, so I feel like that's a good program and it seems to be helping. So I'm glad we're able to provide that with that extra staff. We did make some changes to the Nova4 system that allows single sign-on, so you can now use your same username and password that you used to log on to the computers to log on to Nova4. So that's a common problem that we were running into that we got resolved. We have started the deployment of the new radios. We've issued quite a few of those out, 130 roughly. We've already attended 3 department meetings, and we're working to schedule additional meetings. So I think Red Springs is next. As a reminder, Any of your guys that are qualified to get a radio can stop by the office during our hours and pick that radio up. They don't have to wait for the department meeting. We're still working on the OpenGov project, and I'm working on a website redesign right now as well to get our website up to date with a little more accurate information. Unless y'all have any questions, that's all I have at this time.
And we did get all the stuff put on the check registers and all that stuff put on the website, is that right?
I'm still working on it.
Okay.
Diligently.
All right, thank you. Okay. Chief of Operations report, Derek.
We had our AAR for the winter weather event. Basically, we figured out everything went pretty well. We did identify a few needs, and we will be working towards that. Also, the rental engine for Flint, as Mike said, should be put in service sometime this week. And then as far as the remodels, we're still working on the 2 leases, one with City of Tyler and one with UT. We are making progress, but as you know, when you start dealing with leases and such, it's going to take a little time to get that ironed out, but we are moving forward.
We promise, Matt.
Mike, you got anything you want to add for fleet maintenance? I noticed.
I know most of it already got answered by previous questions. The rental engine will be here tomorrow. We'll get the Flint crew down there to help get it loaded up and in service. Red Springs should be done soon. Bullard's brush truck should be completed sometime this week and should be ready for delivery next week. The first of the blocker trucks will be ready to be picked up this week, and we're going to do a little swap. The second one didn't quite make it all the way to Dallas, so we had to go back the next day, do a minor repair, bring it back. So when we're going to meet them about halfway, swap engines and bring the blocker that's done back.
Okay.
And I think that's about it.
Okay, thank you. All righty. Number 19, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on Jackson Station 2 bunk rooms. Terry?
Well, do you want to table it since Jackson's deciding they're wanting to do their thing? I don't know what, I got mixed feelings here. I don't know, do we need to continue on trying to, well, I understood I met with the chief about 3 days, well, I guess it was Friday maybe, I'm not sure, it's Thursday or Friday, and I thought we agreed about moving forward with trying to get paid staff there. Now it feels like they're not really wanting it, and with the 2 departments helping them, it's up to the board. I mean, do we want to continue on, discuss it, table it, or what do you want to do on it? Because I'm not sure.
I'll put a motion to table it for right now, and Terry, what I'd like to do is just set aside some time for us to get together and talk. We discussed having a meeting with the Jackson High Board themselves and some of us, and so I want to go ahead and continue down that same path, understand what the issues they are, what we can do to support them before we make the decision to actually start placing personnel there.
I agree, and also I would like to, I want to put y'all in the hot seat too. I want to watch the metrics for the next month. I want to see, what y'all make, what you don't. I feel like y'all have nothing but success, but we're going to look at that pretty hard as well. But I think I agree to table the motion. So I will second that.
Okay, have a motion and a second to table the discussion on the Jackson Heights Station 2 bunk room. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of tabling this till later agenda, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we'll table it till later on. Item number 20 will be a closed session. The board will convene in closed session in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551071, 551072, and 551074. No action shall be taken while the board is in closed session. Any final action, final decision, or final vote shall be taken after the board reconvenes in open section. Deliberation on concerning the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment duties, and responsibilities of individual ESD officers, commissioners, and employees, Government Code 551074. Deliberation regarding real property, Government Code 551072, and consult with attorney and receive legal advice concerning contemplated legal matters or settlement offer, Government Code 551071. And probably what will also be discussed in there will be 21, 22, and probably 23. But we can, and probably all the way down to 25. So we may have a little lengthy closed session. So anyway, at this time, I'll adjourn the open session of the meeting at 8:18. Okay, I'll call our open session back to order at 9:29. And item 21, discuss and consider taking any necessary action on personnel and employment for Smith County ESD number 2. There is no action to be taken on that item. Item number 22, discuss, consider, and take necessary action on facilities maintenance. There is no action to be taken on that at this time. Number 23, discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on financial administrator position. We discussed this, and at this time, I'll entertain a motion from one of the board members.
I put forth a motion to create the position of financial administrator and to submit the position open to public for applications.
Okay, have a motion by Mr. Domney to create this position and also to advertise for the position. Have a second?
Second.
Have a second by Mr. Biggers. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 24 was not discussed there, but it's to discuss, consider, and take any necessary action on hiring 9 additional personnel. Is there any discussion on this? Okay. Well, at this time, I guess I would make a motion that we would table that for a later date.
Yeah, I'll second your motion.
Okay. I have a motion by myself and a second by Mr. Nominee that we table item number 24. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, all right. And item 25 is remarked by the presiding officer and the board members or information updates. Only thing I've got is the next ESD meeting will be here on what day? The 27th of April. So does anybody else have anything they'd like to say? Brent? Matt? Leroy? Charles? All right, if not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Motion to, okay. We are adjourned.